Hey out there. As y'all can hear by the music, I am in Atlanta trying to live my best life. So, I'm here. Let's talk about, you know, the ride. The ride was hard. The ride was long. Coming from Kalamazoo, Michigan, all the way to Atlanta. That's like 12, 13 hours. It depends on how you drive. But long ride, a lot of time to think, a lot of time to be afraid, a lot of time for everything. Just a long ride. But anyways, we made it. We made it. We made it. And we made it. So we are here in Atlanta, and we moved. Once we got here, we moved in, with my son's father's family for a little while, and that didn't last very long. So of course I turned to him and was like, "Look, if we don't leave here, I'm going back home. Like, I'm not gonna stay here like this." So lo and behold, we ended up going into a hotel until we got on our feet. So we in the hotel, trying to make it. And I don't know if you remember from the first episode, we only had like $300 left from the ride. So here we are we have no car because we drove the U-Haul down here, just with our stuff, just some things that we had. And that was it. That was all we had. That's what we came down here with, and we had $300. So we got $300 in the States where only his family is here. Well, his mother and her husband is here. Brothers and sisters is here. But again, we're in this state where just his family is. None of my family is here. So here we are. Now we are at a hotel with $300, no car, trying to find a job, just make ends meet. And our relationship wasn't up to par. So, whew, that was a lot. That was a hard one. That was a tough one. But I made it. And in that, I made it because even though I had the negativity at home, I did have some positive things at home too. My friends, a couple of my friends were very positive. They really kept me encouraged to continue to stay, even at the hard times, the very hard times. I thank God for them for even pushing me to stay, telling me that I did something that they would have never done. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ask me even to this day, "Alicia, how did you just up and leave? We're so proud of you because you made it out. You left Kalamazoo and stayed." Like, I know many of friends that have moved away, but they always came back. And so if you decide to move, the encouraged thing in that, I would say, is that if you decide to move and you made that move, just know that you just have to get over the missing of the family and the missing of the friends. That's the hardest thing I think about the move was. Many a times I call my sister every day, couple times a day, and she was like, "You just need to come back." But of course I didn't. And then I also had my brother. When I felt, when I felt like going back, I would talk to him. And he was back. He was still in Michigan at the time. And he would say, "No, you stay there. Atlanta is a good place. It's Atlanta opportunity. You have so much opportunity there. You can do it." And so that was encouraging. That was encouraging to hear that, to hear my brother say that, and to hear my friends say that. So once again, we're here. We're trying to find a job. We, trying to make ends meet or what have you. So I ended up with this job at Sonic at the time. It was okay. It's Sonic. It's fast food, so y'all know how that go. So I'm there working, and I think Deshaun's dad worked at McDonald's or somewhere like that. Anyways, we ended up working, saving up. We ended up was able to get into an apartment. So then we got an apartment. We moved in, I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, we both working, we doing what we need to do, we making things happen. So then I ended up signing up for school. I ended up signing up for school, which was a good thing. That was tough because I was concerned about leaving Deshaun with him, and he's abusive. He didn't care if he did it in front of Deshaun. He didn't care if I was holding Deshaun. He didn't care about none of that. If he wanted to fight, if he wanted to hit, that's just what he did. But I had to believe that that it was meant for me to go to school. I had to do something better because my focus and my goal was I got to get out of this relationship. And the only way I knew how to get out of this relationship is to be able to make it. I didn't realize or know that I can make it at that time. I was still trying to mend that relationship, thinking that, okay, I need to stay in this for Deshaun. I need to stay in this because I don't know nobody here. And so I believe that played a really big part for him to be so abusive or just to not care. So I'm not, he did the physical, he did the mental, he also did the cheating. So he would go out and cheat and do whatever he wanted to do. And of course, he knew people here because he had been here, because his mom and stuff was here. So, I'm here in this state and I got this foolishness going on at home. So everything I knew, all the pain, all the hurt, in the midst of all that, I just put everything I had in school because I did have a goal. Even though in the midst of that, I had a goal. I knew where I was trying to go or what I was trying to do. So I believe that that's a start. So if you're out there and as long as you know where you're going or where you're trying to go and you have a goal, stick to it and keep your eyes on that goal, on accomplishing that goal, because you will make it and you will get there. So that's my encouragement for that. So then, okay, so we in this apartment, the abuse is probably a little higher. So, then it got real crazy, the doing stuff to the car, because we did end up getting a car. So he would do different things in the car, to the car. So different things would just be going on, or things could have went on. Thank God that for his protection, I just didn't realize that he was really covering me or heard me like that. So one day, we're in the apartment and we smoking and we drinking. I think Deshaun was maybe with his grandmother or whatever at this time. So we're in the apartment and we're smoking and drinking, and it was a knock on the door. And so he went and answered the door, of course, and he comes back to me. Now I stayed back there, and I'm still smoking and drinking. So he come back there and he's like, there's two people out here and they want to pray for you. And I'm like, I, I don't want no prayer right now. Like, I'm smoking, I'm drinking. No, not right now. Tell him to go. I'm good. You can go get prayer if you want to, but I'm good. So he goes back out there. He tells them, I guess, I'm not interested or whatever. But these two individuals, they did not leave. They did not leave my home. Now, first of all, let's go back to the fact y'all in my home and y'all wouldn't leave. And I said I don't want it. But hey man, they didn't leave. They didn't leave. So he comes back and he's like, they didn't leave, and they just want to know if you want to rededicate your life, or if they can just pray for you. So here I am. I gets up. I got an attitude, y'all. Like, I'm really, really irritated. For one, I didn't want to stop smoking. I wanted to finish what I was doing. First of all, I was high. I don't want to get prayer, and I'm high. Come on, I don't want to do that. And I know y'all smell it because it's all through the house, So, okay, so I get up. I put it out. I go out there. And it was a lady and a man. And they introduced themselves, and they just was like, can we pray? Can we pray for you? Would you like to rededicate your life? Or, they asked, do I know Jesus? Am I saved? And, the normal questions they asked. And I said, yes, I am saved, blah, blah, blah. So then, they said, well, do you want to rededicate your life? So I was like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. I'm just trying to get them out of my house. Like, oh, okay, whatever. Whatever I got to do to get you out of my house. So they prayed over me. I rededicated my life. Now, mind you, I never stopped desiring or wanting God. Just at that moment, I didn't think that was the time. That wasn't the time. I'm saying I was getting high. I don't want to rededicate my life. Anyways, that's a sidebar. So anyways, they prayed over me or whatever, and they did it. And then they asked me, do I want to go to church? So I said, yeah, okay, I'll go to church. I said, but we don't have a car. We don't have transportation right now. So is it possible, if somebody can come get me, I'll go. So, of course, my son's father is like, he ain't trying to go. Whatever. He gonna smoke to the day he die. That's what he said. So he wouldn't be the same. So whatever. So I said yes, and they said they'll come get me. And then they left. So then when they left, I went back in the room and smoking and drinking. So I know y'all like, Alicia, did you just get prayer? Well, I just told y'all I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it. But God had a plan. God knew what he was doing even in the midst of my smoking and my drinking. He knew. God said, no, you daughter, you gonna come on and you gonna rededicate. And just because it don't look like what we prayed, the seed was still sown. So the activation still happened. So that was the start of my walk, of my true walk, because I always know God. I always prayed to God. I used to go to church with my grandmother, and I actually got saved on my own with me and my best friend. So, I already knew God. I already desired God. But at that moment, God said, I'm going to meet you where you are. I'm going to meet you when you least expecting it. When you least thinking about it, here I am. I'm going to show up and I'm going to let you know that I heard you. So all the crying that I did back home and once I got here, and all the crying out to him, how many of y'all know that just because he might not show up right on time, or it might not, be in your time frame, but it's still right on time? God knows what he's doing. So, like I said, we went back and we did the smoking and the drinking, and, we continued our day. So, here we go. The next day, I go to church. So they came and got me. Me and Deshaun went to church. His dad didn't go. When I went to the church, it was so loving. Everybody showed the love of God. And that welcomed me. That made me feel like God is like God's love. And so, I remember the word as if it was just preached yesterday. That word was so profound and so meant for me. The pastor was talking about how can you be doing the things that you do when God is on the inside of you? So if you're smoking cigarettes, you making God smoke cigarettes. Ain't that crazy? That was crazy to me. That made me be like, dang, I'm making God get high? like, I don't know, it might sound crazy, but it got me thinking. It got me looking at what I'm doing a little differently. It made me be cautious. And no, it didn't make me be cautious at the very first time I went back and smoked. No. But the more I kept going to church, the more I kept going, and the more the word kept going in me, that's when things started changing. So yeah, I would go to church, and I would go back home, and I would still be smoking, and I was still that drinker. But I knew things started to change when I started to go home and all I could talk about was the word. When all that would come out of me was the word of God. That is when I knew, okay, my life is really changing. So then once I started seeing the change by me speaking the word, I'm sitting here smoking, but speaking the word. So I'm coming home, and we might be smoking, but all I'm doing is talking about what the pastor preached. Well, the pastor preached this, but I'm still puff fasting. It might sound crazy, but somebody out there could be going through the same thing, could be doing the same thing, and you still got God just coming out. You don't stop. And then if you really want something different, okay, well, then you can tap into something else. You can start saying, Lord, take the taste out of my mouth. That's what I start saying. God, change the taste. Change my desire. Change. God, I don't want to do this. But why am I doing this? Why am I drinking? Why am I smoking? Why am I doing this, God? But I'm coming to you. But all he asks is for you to come. All he say is come as you are. So if you a drinker out there, if you a smoker out there, whatever you're at in your life, and you desire a change, you can change. Don't let nobody stop you. Don't let nobody hinder you. Don't be ashamed of where you are, because all God's doing is drawing you in. He's drawing you in. He's drawing you in. Deeper and deeper and deeper. The more you come, the word is being put in you. That seed after seed after seed. But I ain't here to preach. So I'm going to stop on that. Just know that you can. Just keep going. That's walking out your salvation. You keep going. You keep pushing. You keep pressing towards God. Even when you don't understand it. Because I didn't understand what was happening. All I knew is that I wanted something different. And so if you out there, if somebody is out there and you just want something different, You desire some change. You tired of that bad relationship. You tired of those negative thoughts. You tired of all the hell around you. It looks like you can't change. It looks like you can't get out. I'm here to tell you that you can. I'm here to tell you that God hears you. I'm here to tell you that He knows your heart. Just keep pushing. Just keep going. So even in all that, I'm going to church. I'm changing my life. Oh, well, here come us getting evicted. So then we get evicted out of our home, lose our apartment. Boom. So then here we go, back to the hotel. But this time it was different. We at hotel to hotel to hotel to hotel to hotel. Because I had to stop working. I ended up stop working. Because we didn't have no car. And I'm just working just to get to work. Working at Sonic. It wasn't no, it wasn't really no money. So that's how we ended up, we lost the apartment. So we at this hotel, that hotel, this hotel. I'm like, man, this is crazy. This really shouldn't be like this. So then, in the midst of this, I'm still going to church. I'm still going to school. I'm still taking care of my son. I'm still battling this abusive relationship in the midst of all this hell that's going on around me. So then I go to the pastor, I go to the man of God, the man or woman of God, and I tell them, look, I got to get out of this. I have got to get out of this relationship. I have got to have or do something different. I got to. So they started working on me a place to stay. So in the midst of me trying to play it like ain't nothing going on, or they're not, looking for me somewhere to go or whatever, I have to keep quiet. Still go home and act like everything is okay. But all I stayed focused on is that something had to what? Change. God, you have to change this. I deserve better. I need different. So then a lady at the church got me a job at a daycare. So I ended up working at this daycare. And I remember just one day, I'm working and I'm going to work, and I would go to work and come home and go to work, come home, still smoke, whatever, go to church, whatever. But then I started I started not smoking as much. Because mind you, I was still saying, God, take the taste out of my mouth. God, I don't want to do this. Why am I doing this? Why am I making you do these things and you're on the inside of me? But hey, that's the only way I could cope. That's the only way I knew how to cope. Crazy, I know. But I know there's people that's out there that feel the same way. You feel like that's the only way you can cope because of all the hell that's going on around you. I get it. But you can. You can cope. There's something different out here. There's something better. Call on them. Ask them. Seek them. You'll find him. He loves you right where you are. So, one day I'm at work and this is funny. My son's father, he called me talking about, I don't know why he was picking a fight that day. I'm at work trying to mind my own business, at least get a peace of mind from all the hell that goes on at home. So me and Deshaun, because Deshaun used to go to the daycare with me. So I'm at work, and this man calls me talking about he finna bring another woman into our hotel room, and just straight, just disrespectful. Straight disrespectful. So all I know, we get off the phone. I'm thinking in my mind, and when I come home, he finna have another woman at our hotel room. Now we had a hotel room. We had a hotel room. Say hi, Pastor. Say hi. Hi. This is Pasha, my 2-year-old. Anyway, just to let you know that, he, back to what I was saying, I'm sorry. He called and, said he was finna have another woman. So in my mind, all I'm thinking about is this man is crazy. He finna have another woman in our hotel when me and my son come home. So I call up my pastor and I'm like, look, it's, it's time. This is time. So he said, okay, I'm working on it right now. I'm finna finalize it right now. So I go home, and I remember being at home and being at the hotel that day. There was no girl there, so no woman came there. But the fact that he said it, and he was just angry that day. So then he just became really, really mean and wanted to fight. I remember going into the bathroom and sitting in the bathtub and rolled me up a blunt. Just got through talking to Pastor, telling him, it's time. We need to get up out of here. And as I was sitting there in the tub, the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, if you don't stop smoking, that devil in there is going to get you. And all I saw was his face. I never picked up a blunt again. Never touched one again. So that's my testimony from getting off of smoking. Not only did I didn't want to do it anymore, the desire was gone. It was gone instantly from that. The next day, I was moving out. I moved out. I left. So just know that there's always a get out. There's always a way out. God will make a way for you to get out. Trust Him. Seek Him. Push. And keep going. So until next time, you guys, please stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. Stay encouraged out there. It doesn't matter how many times you come. It doesn't matter how many times you seek Him. It doesn't matter about how many times you cry and you go back to a thing. God knows your heart. And if your heart is in the right place to do the right thing, eventually you'll do it. So everyone, I will see you again next Friday at 8. So y'all stay encouraged and be blessed. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.